All right, everybody, welcome to week 2. Congratulations on completing your first week. I'm excited to take some time and look through the brand ideas that you've come up with and to get to know each of you a little bit. I hope that the introductions was something fun, just getting to interact with people after some time in isolation. Now I want to go ahead and introduce what we're going to talk about in week 2. This week, we have 2 discussions. Your initial post is going to be due on Wednesday, which will be the norm for the remainder of the semester. I expect you to have your initial post in by Wednesday and 3 quality comments by Saturday. What is a quality comment? There are questions, there are thoughts, there's feedback. It's more than just this looks great. That it's actually worth you taking the time to write and me taking the time to read. As well as whoever's content you're commenting on, that for them it's something that's valuable. There's no point in having discussions if we're not going to make them valuable. So please make sure you take a look at my feedback, and if I have not marked you for quality comments, take a look at the rubric of what a quality comment is and think about how you can add to that a little bit. You're also going to be taking another quiz. Quiz scores this week looked good. If you have questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. The things that we're going to be talking about this week in our discussions, last week you proposed some of your brand ideas. This week I want you to pick the 2 channels that you're most interested in running. And keep in mind that these don't have to be channels that you're necessarily most familiar with. Maybe you use Instagram regularly and you really like it, but you've wondered about how Snapchat for a business or a brand works. Or, maybe you're really interested in creating a personal brand and you'd like to use LinkedIn, but you're not really familiar with how that works. This is an opportunity for you to answer a series of questions about each of your channels. Inevitably, I always have someone ask, well, where do I get this information? And that's up to you. This is a chance for you to do research. Social media is changing so fast and is so new that there aren't going to be, accredited sources, or when we have a textbook come out, it's out of date within a year. So Google is going to be your friend here looking at, I know that Pinterest Business has a lot of really interesting statistics that'll help you out as you're looking at this. If you want advice of what channels you think would be good for your brand, don't hesitate to reach out. The way that you're going to, these 2 discussions work together. You're going to look at 2 channel profiles and see who are the users of those channels, and do those users line up with the audience of your brand. The audience analysis, there's a worksheet that you're going to complete. It involves going into the Facebook pages and going through, I'll just show you so that it's easier than me just talking at you. You're going to go through the audience analysis here. When you are analyzing competitors, try to think about somebody who's at least in the same niche as your brand might be. So if I was a photographer, that's always an easy go-to, and usually several people do that. I might pick other Detroit family photographers, and I would analyze Facebook, Instagram, and Pinterest and see what their following looks like. And the third step here is going to be your buyer persona. So the biggest problem that everyone has when they're running a brand, whether it's for a business or it's for a brand, whether you're a marketing professional or you're just starting out and this is your first time, even looking at this kind of information, is that people are too broad. When your brand serves everyone, no one is going to find it. So what I mean by that is that if I am a Michigan photographer, or even just a photographer, and I am marketing my content to men and women between the age of 25 and 60, it's really hard to make content that appeals to everyone everywhere in that age. So instead, what I might do is a buyer persona. So let's say that my first persona is going to be somebody who would be looking for newborn photography in my area. I can picture that person. It's going to be a female, a mother, who is between the ages of 20 and 40. She is going to be in a specific location. She's going to be in Metro Detroit. I might pick a couple of counties that are close. And then what does this woman do? Creating this vision of what this person looks like is going to help me create content for her. My next person might be a senior boy who is just graduating from high school and needs senior photos. He really doesn't want them, but his mom's making him. Or it might be a grandfather who has a family reunion coming up. You see where I'm going. When you create specific targeted content, you're going to see success and higher engagement from that part of your audience than you're going to see if I put out the same ad that's going to go to the newborn mother, the senior, and the set of grandparents looking for a reunion photographer. And then step 4 is where you start to get clear about what is your brand, who is your primary audience. When you think of your primary audience, I want you to be specific. There should be demographic information in there, as well as some of their interests that they might have in common. If you have a geographic location, that can be really valuable just for ad targeting purposes. But a lot of brands aren't limited anymore by geographic location. So those are some things to think about as you're going through this. Who is this for, and what purpose does it serve? Those are the 2 questions you should be asking yourself over and over. So I'm excited to see what you create this week, and welcome to week 2.